Good evening. Happening any moment now, the union representing LCBO workers will begin a press conference to offer an update on labor negotiations. OPSEU says talks have broken down and they're not hopeful a deal can be reached ahead of the midnight deadline when workers will be in a legal strike position. 3 shootings in just one night as Hamilton endures an uptick in gun violence this year. And to cap it all off, in another incident today, officers were confronted by a person armed with a flamethrower. Good afternoon and welcome to CHCH News' special coverage of the total solar eclipse. It's a special once-in-a-lifetime event for our region. It's the first full solar eclipse to hit Niagara Falls for almost 100 years, the last one being back in 1925, and the next one isn't expected to hit until 2144. Prtula told the courtroom the video he made is disgusting, deplorable, and called the behavior beneath him. Defense and Crown lawyers made sentencing submissions, with the defense arguing for time served and the Crown looking for between 4 and 6 months in jail. A Superior Court judge has taken over the case of 5 former World Junior Champion hockey players charged with sexual assault in London. And hearings were continuing today as the case moves towards a trial. Hockey Canada quietly settled a lawsuit with the woman at the center of this case, sparking a national outcry, parliamentary investigations, and a change of leadership at Hockey Canada once it was reported by TSN's Rick Westhead. Now, police say the victim has been very cooperative with them right from the start. This case will be back in the courts on April 30th. The day ended with Veltman himself reading a statement to the court, apologizing to the family, saying that he can't turn back time, and once again referencing some mental health disorders as a reason for why he did what he did. But that apology, it was not accepted at all by the family, who came out just a short time ago, right here where I am, to read a statement to the media. Take a listen to what they had to say.
It's not as big as maybe you would expect for the man who's about to become the Premier of Ontario, again, if that polling is correct, but certainly the people here, they've got a confidence about this. Now, Doug Ford himself is not here. He's at home watching the results with his family. They just had him up on the screen here, and people, of course, were excited by that. He did vote this morning, and he is expected to win his riding. Of course, Ford is looking for that second majority government, and to do that, he's going to have to get more than 63 seats in the legislature.
What do you think would compel someone to do something like this?
Hate. Just hate.
15-year-old Lily Grabovac, who openly identifies as a member of the 2S LGBTQ+ community, was disappointed but not shocked by the homophobic slurs spray painted on her school, saying homophobic slurs are frequently used by students.
It's very common here. Yesterday, a teacher really had to speak up against students who are just being hateful.
Lily shared recordings with CHCH News of what she says are exchanges between students and teachers regarding homophobic comments made in class.
Go to the office. Go to the office. I can't wait to tell my dad about this. Oh, I got to the office because I was making fun of gay people. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's wrong and unacceptable at school.
So funny.
Lily also says racial slurs are common, showing me messages from other students where she is referred to as a slave, and also showing me racist memes she says students are sharing.
There was pictures of black men just with the N-word.
17-year-old student Reese McKenzie also identifies as a member of the 2S LGBTQ+ community and also says students often make homophobic comments.
It is awful. You constantly hear what's happening. People making petty comments, offensive jokes, leaving messages all over the school.
As for the graffiti,
just knowing that it had happened just wrought me right to my core.
Saying she is sometimes subjected to slurs, 16-year-old student and 2S LGBTQ+ person Allison Vello was shaken by the graffiti.
I was very hurt to see that. I have no words. It's cruel, and I feel like we're better than that.
That message tells me to stay home. That message tells me not to go to school. That message tells me that this is not a safe place for someone like me.
Anti-bullying advocate Justin Preston was disturbed by the graffiti and says he encounters hate often in Niagara.
It's very terrifying knowing that myself as well, being 30 years old, I still get people yelling at me constantly out of cars.
As I interviewed Justin, several people tried to interrupt our work. A pickup truck came back and forth twice, revving its engine, trying to drown him out. And a woman in a white van slowed down to scream at us
to leave kids alone. The District School Board of Niagara wouldn't say if the person behind the graffiti is a student, directing us to Niagara Regional Police, who are investigating. Asked what the punishment will be if it turns out to be a student, the board says consequences would include suspension. In an email to CHCH, DSBN writes, "We reaffirm that we do not tolerate discrimination, harassment, or hatred of any kind. DSBN has done a great deal of work over the past years to ensure that all DSBN schools are inclusive and welcoming, but we know there is always more to be done." Niagara Regional Police's investigation remains ongoing. Matt Ingram, CHCH News, Port Colborne.